Let's get into it. What a week. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis made several stops around Iowa last weekend, including an unscheduled visit to a Des Moines barbecue joint after Trump canceled a nearby rally due to a tornado watch. The tornado never showed up, ultimately avoiding the area due to a DeSantis watch. Speaking of disasters, check out what happens when Ron DeSantis interacts with a person.
How does that work?
I can't. For those listening, I think you get a sense of it. You do need to see the video or have the video described to you. He rears up and his mouth gets so big, like he is being produced by some kind of an AI that kind of understands the facial expressions we make. And I really appreciated this clip of Ron DeSantis because it really, to me, helped me for the first time begin to piece together this person because, there's there's all these stories about how he doesn't like and doesn't do a good job of interacting with people and that he's very closed off. And then there's this public persona, which is this sort of blustery EPA guy from the Ghostbusters voice thing that he's doing up here. But that performance is what he does because he's just so weird and nerdy and unable to get the interactions right. And I say good luck to him. On Wednesday, Donald Trump took credit for the rollback of federal abortion rights, saying on Truth Social, after 50 years of failure, with nobody coming even close, I was able to kill Roe v. Wade, much to the shock of everyone. Demanding credit for stuff that voters hate Trump is easily the best Trump. You know that thing where you stub your toe really hard and it doesn't hurt right away? There's this little gap so you have a second just to think about how much it's about to hurt, and there's nothing you can do about it? That was my idea. Nobody else thought of it. I got that done. On Thursday, George Santos communications director Nasa Woomer resigned in a heated email saying, with respect for my colleagues, the people of New York, and most importantly, myself, I am honored to tender my resignation. I love it. I just love this idea that it's time for you to do a proud statement of integrity. I knew I wouldn't always agree with every decision made by the Hamburglar, but out of respect for Mayor McCheese, Grimace, McDonald's, and myself, I must resign in protest. Meanwhile, Noelle Dunphy, a woman who says she secretly worked for Rudy Giuliani during his time as Donald Trump's personal lawyer, is suing the former mayor, alleging that Giuliani sexually harassed her and demanded sexual favors. I don't know. There's something fishy about this story. The Rudy Giuliani I know wouldn't have done all that stuff without butt-dialing 3 reporters into an accidental conference call. It's all lies, said Rudy Giuliani, sweating so many rivulets of hair dye that he nearly drowned on dry land. Giuliani denied the accusation by pointing out that he and Dunphy aren't even cousins. Dunphy alleges that Giuliani made sexist, racist, and anti-Semitic remarks during confused and hostile alcohol-laced tirades. The lawsuit claims that one of these anti-Semitic comments was about Passover, with Giuliani quoted as saying, "Get over Passover, it was like 3,000 years ago." The Red Sea parted, big deal. It's not the first time that has happened. Not very never forget of you, Rudy. It's pretty funny. Get over Passover is funny. According to the suit, Giuliani also discussed attempting to sell presidential pardons for $2 million. You might be wondering, isn't selling pardons illegal? Not if you have $2 million. Say what you will about Giuliani, but he's a multitasker. He's opening his trench coat to fish out some contraband pardons, and in the very same motion, he's flashing his junk at an employee. A true Renaissance man. Former Olympic figure skating gold medalist Sarah Hughes has filed to run for Congress on Long Island as a Democrat. If elected, Hughes would become the second Olympic skater in congressional history, joining 1998 Nagano ice dancing champion George Santos. There needs to be a name for that kind of joke because it is 100% hacky. Everyone does it. I've done it over and over again. Never fucking fails. It's the Cheesecake Factory of jokes. You know what I mean? John Durham, the Trump-era special counsel, has issued a report criticizing the FBI for investigating links between the Trump campaign and Russia in 2016, nearly 4 years after Trump's attorney general, Bill Barr, tapped him to lead the probe. Durham's investigation cost taxpayers more than $6.5 million, but failed to deliver on the promise of nefarious deep state dealings to destroy Trump from the inside. Of course, that hasn't stopped conservatives from pretending the report is a smoking gun. Here's Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville.
If people don't go to jail for this, American people should just stand up and say, listen, enough's enough. Let's don't have elections anymore.
Whoa, Tommy, babe. What? We found, let's take him at his word. We found some things that we don't like happening inside the Justice Department. Let's do a junta? What are you talking about? This is why in Crimson Tide, Denzel Washington also has a key. There's always somebody way too ready to press the red button. You know what I mean? Goes right to junta. 0 to junta in 5 seconds. I just wanted to say junta. Timothy Parlatore, a member of Donald Trump's legal team, announced he's leaving just as the investigation into stolen classified documents found at Mar-a-Lago appears to be in its final stages. Said Parlatore, I gotta go before he learns my name and gives me some kind of anti-Italian nickname. You know it's gonna be messed up, Timmy Pappardelle or some shit. Oh, Maron, my grandmother's gonna be spinning in her grave, which is full of her delicious homemade pasta sauce. Just thinking about the logic of that joke, which is we just wanted to make the jokes that we think Trump would make. Are we? Trump didn't make those jokes. We're joking about wouldn't it be terrible if Trump did it? Then we did it. Something to think about. President Biden and congressional leaders said they felt optimistic about reaching a deal to raise the debt ceiling. Meanwhile, Senator John Fetterman said if a proposal pushes people into poverty, he can't support it in good conscience. And he has allies, as Dianne Feinstein also cannot support it in good conscience or consciousness. Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, testified before a Senate subcommittee on Tuesday and urged lawmakers to regulate AI technology. I, for one, see merit in regulating the terrifying, potentially omniscient power of artificial intelligence, said Altman, sweat pouring down his face. For example, its power to trick a tech CEO into locking his genitals into a saw-like contraption, controlled by AI, forcing him to do its unholy bidding. On Tuesday, California Senator Dianne Feinstein seemed to not recall her 2.5-month absence from Washington, insisting to a reporter, no, I've been here, I've been voting, please, you either know or don't know. At least we finally have an answer to the age-old question, what if The Notebook were a horror movie? I blame the reporters for asking her these gotcha questions when they knew she couldn't see a mirror to reference all her upper body reminder tattoos. And on Thursday, the New York Times reported that Feinstein is significantly more unwell than previously known, which is why we're sending 4 gay guys and 1 loud non-binary person to give her life a complete makeover. According to the Times, after contracting shingles, Feinstein developed facial paralysis known as Ramsay-Hunt syndrome, as well as encephalitis, or swelling of the brain. In other words, Dianne Feinstein's brain is bigger than ever. Now quit being sexist and help me lift her voting arm. Just 10 more. Governor Greg Gianforte of Montana signed legislation this week that would ban TikTok in the state, saying it'll protect Montana's private data and sensitive personal information from being harvested by the Chinese Communist Party. Oh no, what will China do without access to the sensitive internet histories of Montanans, like best cowboy hat to wear to an interview, or diners that let you smoke inside, or buffalo getting married, full video. Democrat Donna Deegan was elected mayor of the city of Jacksonville, Florida, overturning what was formerly the most populous city with a Republican mayorship. That title now belongs to New York. Colorado Congresswoman Lauren Boebert has filed for divorce from her husband, Jason Boebert. The Y is silent. Are you picturing it? It's Jason, and there's a Y. According to a Colorado process server, Boebert's husband was drinking beer out of a glass and cleaning a gun when he arrived and became enraged when handed the divorce papers. Boebert, of course, is best known for getting arrested for exposing himself to a minor at a bowling alley in 2004. And now, he's dating Marjorie Taylor Greene. This season is gonna fucking rule. A 15-year-old high school student in Missouri was suspended after she filmed her geometry teacher repeatedly saying the N-word. Geometry teacher. Do you know how pathologically committed to saying the N-word you have to be to fit it into geometry? English, history, you can read Huckleberry Finn, you can quote some Civil War general, you've got options. This guy's starting point was Sokotoa. The World Health Organization has warned against using artificial sweeteners, saying that long-term use could pose various health risks. When I read this story, I was so shocked I almost knocked over my Diet Coke IV stand. Shut up, WHO. Absolute fucking nerds. Remember when you said masks were just for doctors and fags? Eat shit. I don't believe any of this. I'd love to hear the genius at the WHO explain how I, a man composed of 80% Diet Coke, only feel medium bad most of the time. The WHO added that doesn't mean you should switch to sugar. Instead, they recommend a diet with less sweetness. I know the WHO means well, but I'm obviously not going to switch to black coffee like I'm suddenly Columbo or something. 3 days of that and I'll be arrested for trespassing to suck on strangers' hummingbird feeders. Elon Musk this week doubled down on his false claim that there's no proof that the Allen, Texas mass shooter was a white supremacist in an interview with CNBC, saying this.
I think incorrectly ascribed to be a white supremacist action. And the evidence for that was some obscure Russian website that no one's ever heard of, that had no followers. And the company that found this is Bellingcat.
Right.
And do you know what Bellingcat does? PsyOps.
In reality, law enforcement investigators have confirmed that the shooter posted neo-Nazi content, had swastika and SS tattoos, and ascribed to Nazi views. Here's what I'll say about all of this. There is a Tesla outside this theater. The key is in it. Just make it go away, please. I can't take it anymore. I can't. You try to drive by the writers and hunk, you think you're doing a fucking Nazi salute out there. They don't want honks from a Tesla. They're not the honks they want. Sucks ass. Musk also tweeted this week that George Soros, who recently dumped all of his Tesla stock, hates humanity and reminds him of Magneto. When asked about those tweets in that interview with CNBC, Musk denied that his comments were based on anti-Semitism, adding this.
I'm like a pro-Semite, if anything.
Elon added, I love Jews. I hear them all the time. There's a couple right off camera going like this. Martha Stewart is on the cover of this year's Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue, becoming the oldest swimsuit model in the magazine's history at age 81. The oldest until now, said Dianne Feinstein. Striding onto the Senate floor in a bikini and voguing for the C-SPAN cameras as her staff raced after her with a big net. At Cannes, to promote his new film, Johnny Depp was asked by a reporter what he thinks of people who say he shouldn't be at the film festival. Depp said this.
What if one day they did not allow me, under no circumstances, no matter what, I cannot go to McDonald's for life. Because somewhere, if you got them all in one room, there'd be 39 angry people watching me eat a Big Mac on a loop. Just for fun. Who are they? Why do they care? Some species, some tower of mashed potatoes covering the light of a computer screen, anonymous, with apparently a lot of spare time. I don't think I'm the one who should be worried. I think people should really think about what it's all about, really.
I'm loving it. What the fuck was that? You gotta know you can get that question. Is there like a PR person off screen being like, nailed it, buddy. You got it, boss. Issue resolved. I think where he went wrong is I think you can't talk about McDonald's, which evokes fries, and then make the people watching you at the McDonald's mashed potatoes. Among other places. Where he went wrong. 2 people were arrested in South Carolina on Mother's Day after one of them dropped 1,500 grams of cocaine out of a fake pregnancy belly. Congratulations, it's a felony. A Colorado driver who was pulled over for speeding tried to switch seats with his dog to avoid being arrested for drunk driving. And it would have worked too if the dog hadn't been absolutely blasted. A volunteer officer with the LAPD fell to the ground and was stung by bees over a dozen times while responding to a call about a large swarm plaguing an Encino neighborhood. They should have sent a SWAT team. I just need to know, what's the plan here? Why did the LAPD send a cop? Later on, they did send bee removal experts, so they knew there was somebody they should call. So was the cop going to shoot the bees? Furthermore, what did the volunteer cop expect to happen? He didn't have gloves or a hat or long sleeves. Before you get on me and say, well, maybe they didn't know, have all the information. But if someone calls you and says there are bees, you have all the information. Also, the cool thing about bees is when there are a lot of them, they let you know. By famously buzzing. Also, what's a volunteer cop? Anyway, shout out to bees, the cops of the bug world. When asked for comment, the LAPD said the bees had a gun. Now, it is head writer Hallie Kiefer's birthday. Hallie, would you mind joining us on stage? Hi, Hallie. In honor of your birthday,
Okay.
we have 3 jokes on cards for you to read
Okay.
to everyone. Happy birthday, Hallie.
Thank you. Okay.
Take it
I
away.
don't know what these are. Okay. Oh, brother. Well, fair enough. Okay.
And by the way, Hallie's parents are in the house.
Yes, my parents and my Aunt Enid. All right. Well, these are barely jokes, but okay.
Wow.
Dianne Feinstein okay. Dianne Feinstein, this is harder than it looks. Okay. Dianne Feinstein seemed to downplay or forget she was ever absent from the Senate. But this is the shit you can get away with when you're so fucking hot. And that's a truth bomb, okay? Yeah, like that's not a joke. It's just my delivery, you know what I mean?
Wow. Okay.
Earlier this week, Elon Musk said that George Soros hates humanity and reminds him of Magneto, which many took to be anti-Semitic. Cancel culture has gone too far. What's next? I can't, as a joke, throw a gold coin down the hallway at work to see if Lovett will chase it?
Oh my God.
I'm from Ohio, and that's how we pass the time. As a queer woman, let me say the woke police have gone too far. And that's a truth bomb, okay?
That's her new catchphrase, huh?
And finally,
Weird.
a spokesman for Prince Harry and Meghan Markle claimed they were in a 2-hour car chase with the paparazzi, but NYPD said it was hardly a chase. Who are going to believe a bunch of serial exaggerators are the NYPD? And that's a truth bomb right there. I either wrote or co-signed every Dianne Feinstein joke. I'm sorry, she has encephalitis. We got to get her out of there. Okay.
Hallie Kiefer, everybody.
Thank you. You're doing great, sweetie.
Get out of here. Those are terrible things to say. And finally, the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile has been renamed the Frankmobile, and the vehicle's Wiener whistles will now be known as Frank whistles. In a related story, the fast food chain Wiener Schnitzel has been renamed, you guessed it, Penis Meat Depot.